So, Ramaphosa has quite a while ago done a state of address for the nation, and now I'm just going to go through three specific things that he said through this state of address. Number one, the updated to level 1 lockdown restrictions. Number two, which is second wave coronavirus. And number three, which is the vaccination and South Africa producing with BioVac. So we have a nice nifty little infograph here provided by them. So we'll be able to not just like go through this entire thing point by point, but this little thing that will give us all the information that we need. So the first thing, as you can obviously see, we can buy alcohol again. Lovely. Now, there's an asterisk to this, which means that you can buy alcohol, but only by permitted outlets. You can't just buy alcohol from a random sketchy dude. You have to make sure that it's from a place that is been given license to sell. Another thing is the license will be given to people who are adherents to curfew, and you can now consume on-site consumption. International travel is being uplifted, which is quite nice. So that means we'll be able to have tourism again, and also we can have going through to other countries for us specifically. Now there is asterisk to this. We can't just have open flight, as you may have been seeing this. So if you want to travel anywhere, you'll have to provide a negative COVID-19 test within 72 hours from the time of departure. And if you don't do that, you will be just kicked out and you'll have to try again. And there will be for travelers when they come to our country, right? A UK person comes to South Africa, they have to make sure that they're, not COVID-19 positive. And if they are, and if they are suspected to be COVID-19 positive, they'll be quarantined and so that will be protected because as you may see, uh, countries like the USA, UK, France, India, and a bunch of other places, Brazil, have high amounts of COVID cases. And if any of them come into our country without being properly tested, this could be extremely, extremely bad for us. We're currently one of the world's smallest COVID-19 cases. Hard as that to believe that we're good at something is just seems so. And this is good for specific reasons. Since we are opening international travel, it means one thing: we can get our tourism sector growing because South Africa has a fairly large tourism sector, and two, we can begin to open up our borders for transportation of other goods. We've been already doing that for quite a while now, but it'll be a lot more open, and we can start importing a lot more things for commercial use and for commercial use because we've been importing things like materials to manufacture stuff, but we haven't been doing commercial things like dolls or I don't know bags and stuff like that, shoes for example. But now we will be able to do that a bit more. This is a step towards those types of things, and this is now the things are still being placed for the level 1 lockdown. These were the previous ones were updates. Now these ones are just things that are going to remain in place. So I'm going to be quite quick through this. 50% of its normal capacity for bars, stores, theater, cinemas, and whatnot, and gatherings indoors 250 and 500 outdoors. Simple enough. We've been doing that for quite a while. Social distancing, mask wearing, curfew still in case. And now we get to the very interesting stuff, which is second wave restrictions. Now, surprisingly, we may not have a second wave if we buckle down and attempt to do it. Because if you may have been reading the news lately, America has not only a second wave, but is now going to get a third wave. Quite weird. And some other countries are getting second waves or have gone through second waves and are getting third waves, which for our country is at least shows that we're at least competent on that level. We're better than some countries that could just buy us out, and that's at least to me heartwarming. But this is the things that are telling us. If we do these specific things that are telling us to stop the second wave, we could reopen. We could join New Zealand on the other side of the least COVID cases in the world, and that'd be quite an achievement for us to do. But as it says here, things like the download this COVID alert South African app. Now, this basically, as I've seen over here from this video explaining it, the basic gist is this. So I have my phone right here. So if I download the app and then I go out somewhere, the app will inform me if someone near has a COVID-19 risk or has had COVID-19. So basically, if someone reports that they have COVID-19, the app will ask you if you have COVID-19, anonymously, obviously. And when you do that, it'll send the signals all around to the people around you who have this app installed as well. And when you do that, my phone will give me an alert, say, hey, someone near you has COVID-19 or has been in contact with COVID-19. You may have gotten COVID-19 yourself. Put yourself into a 14-day lockdown to make sure, or get yourself tested and whatnot. And I think that's really good because what it does is it does this. It makes the people who have COVID-19 restrict themselves a bit more so they don't get out. And secondly, make sure that everyone around us knows, hey, I may have COVID-19, let me quarantine myself. So it's beneficial for everyone. Now, this only works if someone actually does this, because this is a online app. It says it doesn't need your personal information / your location to do this, but a lot of people are going to be skeptical. But I do think this is an important thing that people should attempt to, use. Mask wearing, sanitizing, that's stuff we've been doing already, so it won't be that bad. Keep yourself distant from people, avoid crowds, good ventilation, we've been doing that already. So, yeah. And now we have things that they're going to do to strengthen the response against the second wave of coronavirus. Now, they're going to expand testings and screenings in hotspot areas. They're going to intensify contact tracing. They're going to make sure that the medical facilities are ready for this and monitor outbreaks and deploy when necessary and to um, the right amount of a necessary strategy. All of this is really good. It seems like we have a fairly solid plan to deal with this entire coronavirus outbreak from the strategies implemented for level one and for the second one, stopping the second wave. Now, there are also other things this doesn't really mention. He does address that he is going to continue the program to give people funding, people who've lost their jobs, for businesses who are still struggling still. And this is a very interesting one because the thing this is really important is this. In a basic economics term, there's this thing. If money stops flowing in an economy, the economy will eventually collapse. Now, if there's too much money flowing, then it'll be worthless and it will be basically no one will ever want to spend money, which, doubles back and goes to no spending money at all. Now, the thing is, we still have to maintain an intake of flow of money. And they attempt to do this because even if they may not spend this on luxury goods or other commercial goods, they're still spending money. The economy is still running. These payments to businesses and unemployed are still important to do because if we continue to do this, we can mitigate the effects of coronavirus's damage to our economy. So I just find that extremely important to do. And we're going to go through BioVac, the medical facility that is going to produce the COVID-19 for South Africa specifically. Now, they seem to have done a lot of things before, as you can check from their products. They have already committed themselves to producing vaccines for other things, tuberculosis, measles, pneumonia, and a bunch of other stuff. So it seems like they are already this experience and have had the time in South Africa and know South Africa pretty well. And they have, and their partnerships, which I have over here, they've been partnered up with quite a few organizations: World Health Organization, United Nations, Industrial Development, and Industrial Development Corporation, and have customers from neighboring SADC countries, and also have manufactured for other countries. They're even working with, as they currently show here, the laboratory that is one of the laboratories that are making the vaccine for this virus. So it seems like this one is at least well thought out. Again, the response to this and the overall easing the restrictions and us getting to level 1 lockdown and may soon end at least sometime next year is pretty good. I have a real pride, even though technically we're not the best at this. Again, we can always take New Zealand over here, right? New Zealand's total amount of cases is like 46. What we have like 290 29,503 total cases. Gosh darn it. These guys have like literally nothing. But like we're doing so well compared to the rest of the world. Like all these European countries, all these countries that are like better than us in economics and social and cultural things. We're still doing good. And I find that very heartwarming, you know? We went through the update of the COVID lockdown restrictions and how they are planning to prevent this, and the vaccination. And we also went through some minor things such as payments still going to go through and whatnot. So yeah, um, thank you for watching. I hope this informs you in any sort of way, and that you can take this knowledge and apply it so that you may not get coronavirus. Stay safe and stay healthy.